Hey guys, so today we'll be looking at composition of panels. Now the panel could be for any purpose, whether be it competitions or any other work that you actually want to put out. It is very important in today's world to actually have a panel that actually goes with the idea of your project as well as it signifies all of the ideas behind the project's creation. Therefore, as you can see over here, this is just a competition panel that we had created for a recent competition. And over here, the way in which we went about it is firstly, you have a very specific idea for your project in terms of what you want it to signify and entail through the project and through your sequence of explanation itself. Therefore, once all of your smaller elements like your plans, your sections, your drawings, your renders, and your smaller diagrams or diagramming process is complete, then you can actually go about to see how you can actually make this into a panel. So to start things off, it's also very important to have a color scheme and stick to it. So the color scheme that we actually used was the one over here, as you can see. It's an array of just pastel colors. And the reason why we also like to stick to pastel colors is because it exudes a certain sense of warmth and at the same time does not overburden your panel with way too many colors. Now, these colors are largely what's reinforced in this panel, as you can see. Now, firstly, after selection of your color panel, the another thing that's really important for your panel creation would be to sequence out your project in such a way that it's very understandable. So you have the larger idea for the project, and then you go into the smaller sections that make sense for the project to come to picture, and then you come into the details. And the details could be renders, there could be drawings, anything. As long as there is a sequence that is happening between the parts of your panel, that should be good. Now the panel has been created inside InDesign, and as you can see, it's an A1 panel that was actually created for the competition. And the way in which we've gone about this is to make sure that the panel is divided in such a way that it has equal amount of weightage to the different parts of the process that we actually want to explain. So the first is nothing but the small description of the project. Now the placement of all of these is something that you can decide by yourselves. This is just a sample that's being shown to you all. So as you can see, we have the project description. Usually competitions ask for a project description of a smaller size, which is why it's lesser in text. And you also have a bolded out competition name or the panel name or your design project name that you can provide for the sheets. And then as you can see at the bottom, there is this entire space for the render that has been come in. Now the render that we actually had used, let's also look at the different types of renders that we had. So to begin with, you can see that the renders that we had produced through any medium that you would want to produce it in, we had produced this in Enscape. So the renders that you get from there, you can actually take it into Photoshop to actually get the colors to match your color panel. So you can see that this was the render, and the final render for the same looked something like this. You have your people coming in to liven up your renders, as well as the colors have been changed through the saturation and hue of the entire image, and it's made to match the final color scheme. Similarly, I'll also show you guys the main render that we had. This is a Lumion render that we had produced and replaced the sky according to the colors of our color panel. Therefore, the final render ended up like this. You can see the color saturation of the entire image that has been changed according to suit our need. And we chose a rather simple sky. Now the reason for this is because we also have our drawings that were overlaid on the sky. Now this is a common use technique to actually produce presentation drawings. Therefore, you can just keep in all of your drawings on the skies or any plain backgrounds, and you can save up some space for these drawings itself. so that the space that is actually saved up can then take up the diagrams which explain your process. Now, coming to the diagrams in themselves, in the InDesign panel, we have chosen a simple plain background, which is one color of the color panel that we have. And in that, we have frames that will now hold on these diagrams. Now, the way in which the diagram sequencing is also done is to showcase the idea behind the project from a site level to a smaller context level to the design and the detailing level. Similarly, at the bottom, we have a contrasting white background images. Now, these help in holding out these images to the forefront. Anytime you use white with a colored background, it will always tend to stand out. Therefore, these are all placed in white backgrounds. And you can also see that each individual diagram has been given certain amount of attention. And another thing I want to point out is the way in which you can use these smaller markers that you can actually use for lessening the amount of text. So instead of specifying that render number 1 signifies to the right portion of our design, we have just placed a triangle which then is signified by this render with another triangle at the top as well. In totality, this render is then this portion of your design. Similarly, the square render is this portion of the design, whereas the hexagon render is this portion of the design. And so on and so forth. You can use as many markers as you would like. Once this is done, it's always a good practice to have your frames or the picture frames that you can actually utilize and to use these in order to actually give it some amount of line weight just for its frames. Once this is done, select the other panels as well. You can also give these frames some amount of frame background. So let's say I'll keep it in some specific color like this, and then click Shift W inside InDesign, and you'll be able to see your layout at one shot. Once you're happy with the sizing, then it's always a good idea to bring in your renders for each of them or your diagrams for each of these frames to actually see the outcome. So that is what we have done here. And the last bit of it will be to actually manage the different types of line weights that you'll actually be using. So the way in which you'll be using these line weights as well is going to become crucial because of the fact that some of the lines might not be visible on some backgrounds of different colors. So make sure you either place them in grays or in black or white. Usually that is the one that will give you the best output. A final few remarks about the panel or the panel generation or the paneling technique would also be to work out with some alternatives. So this that need not be your final outcome. You can always try out with more options, and you can try them out before you place your images so that you can avoid having your entire document lagging. Once you're happy with the final outcome of the layout, then you can start placing your images. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more. And leave us a comment down in the comment section below if you'd like to see more of the renders that we've actually made and the process that we adapted to get the final outcome of the renders. Thank you.